Hello, my Linians. This is Teacher Jessa, and today we are going to discuss the topic, the composers and their works. This video tutorial is based from your learning activity sheets in Music 9, Quarter 1, Week 2. So bring out your learning activity sheets and turn your learner's module to pages 6 to 19. Our learning target for this session is explains the performance practice, setting, compositions, role of composer, performers, and audience during medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Before the lesson, let's have some warm-up questions. I have here 2 questions for you to answer. The first question is, who do you think is not part of the group? Is it letter A, Thomas Morley? Letter B, Johann Sebastian Bach? Letter C, Leonardo da Vinci? Letter D, Antonio Vivaldi? Your timer starts now. What do you think is the answer? Very good. It's letter C, Leonardo da Vinci. The next question is, which of the following is not an example of a music composition? Is it letter A, The Last Supper? Letter B, Fire, Fire, My Heart? Letter C, The Four Seasons? Or letter D, The Messiah? Your timer starts now. What do you think is the answer? Very good. It's letter A, The Last Supper. Adam de la Hill was a famous composer of the medieval period. He was born in France in 1237 and he died in 1288. He was also known as Adam Napusoo or Adam Hunchback. Adam was destined for the church but he eventually married. His compositions include Le Jeu de Robin et de Marion and La Chanson de Roy de Cécile. Let's proceed to the famous composers of the Renaissance period. The first composer is Giovanni Pierluigi da Palestrina. He was born in Rome in 1525 and died on February 2, 1594. He is said to be the greatest master of Roman Catholic Church music during the Renaissance period. Majority of his compositions are sacred. His career reflects his commitment to the music of the church. The next composer is Thomas Morley. He was born in 1557 and died in the year 1602. He was born in Norwich, East England, and the son of a brewer. He was a singer in the local cathedral from his boyhood and he became master of his choristers there in 1583. His works include Fire, Fire, My Heart, Sing We Enchanted, Fantasy, April is in My Mistress' Face, and It Was a Lover and His Lass. Lastly, the famous composers of the Baroque period. Let's start with Johann Sebastian Bach. He was born in Germany on March 21, 1685 and died on July 28, 1750. J.S. Bach came from a family of musicians. He was taught to play violin by his father, who was then the town musician in Eisenach. He entered school at age 7, where he was taught religion and other subjects. His works include concerto, masses, cantatas, fugues, and works for clavichord and harpsichord. The next composer is Antonio Vivaldi. His full name is Antonio Lucio Vivaldi. He was born in Venice on March 4, 1678, and he died in Vienna on July 28, 1741. He was called as Il Prete Rosso, or the Red Priest, because of his red hair. He was an Italian Baroque composer. Catholic priest, and a virtuoso violinist. His most famous piece is The Four Seasons. This composition is a series of 4 violin concerti depicting each of the seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The last famous composer of Baroque period that I will discuss is George Friedrich Handel. He was born in Germany on February 23, 1685, and died in London on April 14, 1759. George Handel was the second son from the second marriage of a pastor. Despite his father's opposition, George secretly taught himself to play the harpsichord. Handel's famous work was the Messiah. It was his most famous creation, and the very well-known Hallelujah chorus is part of Handel's Messiah. Now let's have some recap. Give one famous composer of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period and give one of their compositions. For medieval period, Adam de la Haye. His composition is Le Dieu de Robin et de Mariotte. For Renaissance period, Thomas Morley. One of his compositions was Sing-We Enchanted. And lastly, for Baroque period, Johann Sebastian Bach and his composition, Cantatas. At this point, you may turn your activity sheet to enrichment part. Reminder, do not write anything on your activity sheet. Write your answer on a separate long band paper. For your enrichment activity, you will just identify whether the given statement, name, or phrase for each number is medieval, Renaissance, or Baroque. And for your wrap-up activity, you will give 3 characteristics of medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque music. I hope you learned something today. If you have questions or clarifications regarding the topic we discussed, feel free to contact your subject teacher through text, call, or post your questions in your official Facebook group or page. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.